So one of the most important things I think about this church congregation is it is welcoming, but it's not introspective. It in fact looks out more widely.
I have two boys and they were very excited to come with me for my first induction service here recently, and that was a great time. And their impression of the community was that it was a really welcoming place.
I think one day we counted there were 27 different nationalities who are worshipping together.
It actually has a Mandarin-speaking congregation that actually meets here on a Sunday afternoon. We also have links with other groups, including a Cook Islander congregation.
At Frankston we can have grandparents, mum and dad, and the kids, which gives it that rural feel.
So above all else, we would like to think that this is a very open congregation, one that welcomes people, one that doesn't smother them, but seeks to develop their talents and see the light of Christ come out in them and work in the community. This church is pretty remarkable. It's a group of somewhere around about 18 different groups and organisations use these buildings day and night, helping from young mums through to older people, people who have particular personal needs, people who have worshipping needs. It's not just church meetings, it's a whole raft.
The first thing that excited me about Frankston was the connection to the community and the number of ways that the church here is involved with the community and just really values those connections.
And it is that Christ in the community, it really is. They have a care for their fellow human beings, and you can see that in everything they do.
So if we go back over 30 years ago, helped set up Operation Larder. Operation Larder to help the needy, those really who are in need of food, shelter, clothing, other things.
You know, it may not be a church function, but the people in the congregation have their little connections out doing all sorts of things, and that's just great.
We also are involved in other ways, the Frankston Community Breakfast, which was helped to be set up by this church, by other strategies. And that also includes in most recent times the Voices of Frankston.
We worship twice on a Sunday morning, so a 9 o'clock service is our traditional. That's probably our retirees and heading into retirement. Then we have what we call a contemporary service at 10:40, and that's our informal family service.
The second thing that excited me about Frankston was there's actually some focus on children's ministry and youth ministry, as well as ministry through all of the ages of life.
So one of the community things that Frankston does is supply a chaplain to Monash University Peninsula campus. The biggest thing I do is pancake breakfast, and we feed 160 to 250 people depending on who's on campus. But I get the opportunity to do one-on-one conversations. I've had an opportunity to go into some of the classes and talk about religious aspects or spiritual aspects.
When I first heard about Frankston, I thought this would be a really great church to come and be a part of.
So it sits on that edge of urban and rural really nicely, I think. And the beach is beautiful too.